Welcome to Chow Time. Ludwig von Beethoven was born in 1770 in Bonn, Germany. He spent most of his life in Vienna. Now, when he died at age 57, 20,000 people came to his funeral. He first performed at age 7 on piano. He did a recital. And he first started composing his own music at age 12. In his lifetime, he composed nearly 650 pieces of work. Well, I happen to know what Beethoven liked to eat, and that's what's on the menu today. Now, Beethoven wasn't exactly a foodie. In fact, he would often forget to eat when he was composing. Good Lord, I've never had that problem. But his housekeeper would often find plates around the house of just food that he hadn't even touched. But one thing he loved was fish. He never ate meat. He always ate fish. And so I have a 2-pound salmon fillet that I'm going to cook. He also was sort of an alcoholic. He drank wine all the time. And so I'm going to poach this salmon in about a cup of white wine in a 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. Now while that salmon is cooking, I'm going to cook up some macaroni and cheese because that was Beethoven's favorite, especially when he went to restaurants. Now macaroni and cheese in the late 1700s was a little different than you and I know it. It's basically cooked macaroni with butter and salt and pepper and Parmesan cheese. Not cheddar, which is more common these days. So my water's boiling, and as always, I'm going to add a handful of salt, and I'm going to add 8 ounces of elbow macaroni. And we'll let that cook until it's done. Beethoven started going deaf in his mid-20s, and it could have been viral. Something that probably contributed to it was when he was composing and he was starting to get tired, he would dunk his head in ice-cold water so he'd feel more awake. But what is fascinating is when he became profoundly deaf is when he composed some of his most brilliant pieces of work, like the Ninth Symphony. Okay, my salmon is done. So I'm going to pull it out and let it cool down enough so I can handle it. In the meantime, my pasta is cooked. So I'm going to drain it. I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of softened butter, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Is there anything better than buttered noodles? You just stir that around until the butter melts. Crumble the salmon into the buttered noodles. Oh my gosh, does this look good? Oh man, I'm going to fold all that wine-poached salmon into the pasta. And I have a cup and a half of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add about half of it. And fold that in as well. I'm going to transfer this to a casserole dish. You don't need to butter it. There's plenty of butter in there already. Then I'm going to take the rest of my Parmesan cheese, put it on top, then I'm just going to pop this under the broiler just for a minute or two until the Parmesan melts. And Beethoven was very short. He was only 5'3", and although he fell in love a couple of times, he never married and he never had children. There it is. The ultimate Beethoven dinner. And I can't wait to have this. So here it is, a compilation of everything I know that Beethoven liked. Fish, wine, buttered noodles, Parmesan cheese. It's very delicious. It is a symphony of flavor.